11-year-old Madalina Cojocari has been missing since November 21st or November 23rd, and both of her parents, well, her mother and her stepfather, have been arrested in the North Carolina, I believe it was in the Charlotte area, for failing to report her being missing. And it's been several weeks now. So I wanted to share this with you. Actually, some information about their arrest, information about Madalina, and information about the arrests of her parents, who it appears aren't really cooperating. So, all right. First of all, I was alerted to this on Twitter that this Madalina's case is the most wanted case of the week for the FBI. And here is some pictures of Madalina. Really cute little girl. Stop my video. And let's see their missing person poster. So she's been missing, according to the FBI, since November 23rd, but there is some discrepancy as far as when actually was the last time that she was seen. Her birthday is 4/11/2011, and Madalina was last seen at home in Cornelius, North Carolina on the evening of November 23rd and has not been seen since. She was reported missing to her school on December 15th, and Madalina was last seen wearing jeans, pink, purple, and white Adidas shoes, and a white t-shirt and jacket. If you have any information concerning the whereabouts of Madalina Cojocari, please contact the Cornelius Police Department, and you may also contact your local FBI office, the nearest American embassy or consulate, or you can submit a tip online. So I think that they included here the nearest American embassy or consulate because Madalina's mother, at least, is from Moldova. And so I don't know if that has any bearing here. Like maybe people are afraid of speaking to the police because they may not, if there's anybody in relation to her, there may not be an American citizen. That is a complete assumption. I don't know if that's true or not. I'm just, because I've never seen anybody say that. Usually they ask for tips right at the FBI office. Okay, so this was the last time she was seen, which was on 11/21, so November 21st. There she is, Madalina. At 4:59. And let's see what else we've got here. Let me just put it here. So that was at 4:59. And then now we're going to read the arrest sheet for her mother. And this is according to Sydney Heiberger, who is Northeast Bureau Chief at Queen City News. And it says here, this is the Mecklenburg County Arrest Processing Center. On Thursday, December 15th, at approximately 13:12 hours, so 1:12, officer responded to Bailey Middle School, located at 11900 Bailey Road in Cornelius. The complainant, Diana Cojocari, who resides at, I won't say her address, reported her juvenile daughter, Madalina Cojocari, has been missing since approximately 1200 hours on Tuesday, November 22nd. So she's saying that she last saw her daughter at the night before. On Monday, December 12th, 2022, at approximately 1400 hours, Bailey Middle School Resource Officer Jay Nobles attempted a home visit with 6th grade school counselor Mrs. D. Lampkin in reference to Madalina Cojocari. Mrs. Lampkin stated Madalina Cojocari has not been to school since Monday, November 21st. There was no answer at the door, and a truancy packet was left by Mrs. Lampkin. On Wednesday, December 14th, Mrs. Lampkin advised Madalina Cojocari's mother, Diana Cojocari, called her requesting a meeting in reference to Madalina. Mrs. Lampkin advised Diana, stated she would bring Madalina to school on Thursday and meet with Mrs. Lampkin in reference to the truancy. So if this is correct, she obviously lied because she didn't know where Madalina was if she's been missing since November 21st. Moving on. On Thursday, November 15th, Diana Cojocari arrived at the school without Madalina and met with Mrs. Lampkin. Mrs. Lampkin requested Officer Nobles step into the meeting. When Officer Nobles arrived, Mrs. Lampkin and Diana advised me that Madalina has been missing since Wednesday, November 23rd at approximately 2200 hours. So here the time changes. So was she missing since November 22nd, or has she been missing since November 23rd? So here's another discrepancy. Officer Nobles spoke to Diana Cojocari, who advised she last saw Madalina on Tuesday, November 22nd at 1200 hours. She stated that Madalina went into her room that night to go to bed. Diana stated her and her husband, Christopher Palmiter, argued that night, and the next morning he drove to his family's house in Michigan to recover some items. Diana stated she went to check on Madalina around 11:30 hours on the 24th and noticed Madalina was not in her room. Diana stated she waited until Saturday, November 26th at 1900 when Christopher Palmiter returned home before asking if he knew where Madalina was. Christopher stated he did not and asked the same question in return. I asked Diana why she did not report Madalina missing until now. Diana stated she was worried it might start a conflict between her and Christopher. Officer Nobles requested she contact Christopher and have him come to the school. Officer Nobles then contacted Detective G. Patterson and Detective B. Nichols for assistance. Detective Patterson questioned Ms. Diana Cojocari regarding her missing daughter. She explained that she believed her husband put her family in danger but did not know what happened to Madalina. She stated that she contacted her family in Moldova, who advised she contact the police and still hesitated to call. Diana stated Madalina did not have a phone and Madalina's backpack and some clothes were missing from the residence. Diana stated Madalina did not have any friends she would stay with and they have no family around due to Diana being from Moldova. Detective Nichols and I went to the address to search Madalina's room. Ms. Cojocari and Mr. Palmiter were adamant that they did not know where Madalina could be. Yet you wait 3 weeks to report your daughter missing. Okay. While in the residence, I noticed an area blocked with plywood off the kitchen. Detective Nichols asked about the area, and Mr. Palmiter stated that they had planned to make a separate apartment. Due to the circumstances surrounding the absence of Madalina and the 3-week delayed reporting Madalina missing, I believe there's probable cause for an arrest. So in North Carolina, it's my understanding, anybody who is an attorney or knows the law can correct me, but my understanding is that in North Carolina, if you fail to report a crime, something like somebody missing, you can be arrested. So you have to, it's like, I don't know what the name of it is, but you have to report seeing crimes. And so it helps, the whole see it, say something, see something, say something. It helps people to do that instead of allowing potential crimes to happen before your very eyes and not do anything about it and not step in. All right. So I was curious and I just wanted to double check. Here I am in the Craven County nc.gov. It says mandated reporters. North Carolina has a mandatory reporting law that states any person or institution who has cause to suspect that any juvenile is abused, neglected, or dependent, as defined by the statute, or has died as a result of maltreatment, shall report the case of that juvenile to the director of the Department of Social Services in the county where the juvenile resides or is found. The intent of this legislation is to encourage reporting to the proper authority situations in which children may be at risk. It does not require that the reporter possess any information beyond the cause to suspect abuse, neglect, and/or dependency. The reporter is not required to have witnessed the abuse, neglect, and/or dependency, or to have firsthand knowledge. A person who makes a report of suspected child abuse, neglect, and/or dependency is immune from civil or criminal liability if the report was made in good faith. Immunity is also guaranteed to anyone who cooperates with the county child welfare agency in its CPS assessment, testifies in any court action resulting from the report, or participates in authorized procedures or programs for screening and responding to reports of abuse, neglect, and/or dependency. Good. So I had read this before, and that's why the parents were arrested. because they failed to report her missing. And of course, that's in and of itself is sketchy and shady. But it actually, there is a law in North Carolina that requires somebody that she would have had to be reported missing. Okay, so I wanted to read the other part of the report. I read the one related to the mother. Now I'll read the other part related to the father, and it is very similar with only one extra part at the end related to the husband, Chris Palmiter. And it says, on Thursday, December 15th, Chris Palmiter stated that on 11/23/2022, he left his residence to make a trip to Michigan to pick up items. He advised that he did not see Madalina the day he left and believed that the last time he saw her was a week before his trip. I mean, really? He stated that he returned to his residence on 11/26 and asked his wife Diana where Madalina was, and Diana said she did not know. Chris told Diana that he did not know where Madalina was either. Chris stated that he asked Diana if she had hidden Madalina, and Diana asked Chris if he had hidden Madalina, and they both said no. Chris did not report her missing to the police at that time. Chris stated he spoke with Diana several times about Madalina's whereabouts over the next 3 weeks, and both stated that they did not know where she was, but they did not contact the police to report Madalina missing. So we've got a situation where an 11-year-old goes missing, hasn't been to school. There's discrepancies on when they last saw her. There's this potential, they were arguing. The wife was afraid or thought that her family was in danger from the husband. He actually went on a trip, but didn't, the wife didn't even ask him if he took her daughter, if she really felt like she was in danger. And I get that there's stuff that happens, but it's so, so important. One, that if you feel like you're in danger, that you do something to leave a relationship. And if you see that somebody else is in danger, that you step in and do something. That it was kind of a, not that I want to judge, but like, he is a lot older than her. And so there's all these questions that I have, like, was she a citizen? Did she marry him, for citizenship? There's a lot of things that I start to question. And was she put in a compromised position because of this? Because she was dating, or he is a lot older than her. He's over 20 years older than her. And for them not to report, maybe there was an issue with citizenship. Maybe they were afraid. This is a complete assumption. These are questions that are going on in my mind. I know other people are thinking it as well. I see that somebody's missing or endangered. I really want to shine light on it. And this case has really tugged on my heartstrings. So I'm hoping that by bringing some light on there, maybe asking some questions, maybe seeing if anybody knows anything, that perhaps we can find Madalina. Her parents are in jail because they failed to report her missing, and she's nowhere to be found. So my guess is that they feel like that they are responsible for her disappearance or for her being missing. And because otherwise, I feel like if there was a chance that they would find her, that they would have the parents on the streets looking, right? Mobilizing the troops. And so if they don't, I feel like they maybe think that she is no longer here with us, as sad as that sounds, and not that I want to believe it, but that seems like it's a possibility. So let's pray for Madalina. Let's pray for those who love her and hope that she's found soon so that she can come home. And if you know anything, please call the FBI. If you've seen anything, heard anything, see something, say something. And in North Carolina, if you live in North Carolina and you know something related to a crime, apparently you are bound to speak up about it. So if you know something about this crime and you live in the area, please speak up. All right, guys, let's keep Madalina in our thoughts and prayers. And if you learned something today, I'd appreciate if you hit the thumbs up, help me with the algorithm. If you want more empowering true crime updates, please hit the subscribe button and hit the bell for more notifications anytime I post or go live. All right, guys. Well, stay safe, stay thriving, and have an empowering week. Bye for now. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and hit the bell button for notifications. Thank you.